Anything that we do for your constituents that the guys in the orange trucks or the white trucks perform comes out of that's what's left, and that's not what we need. That's basically that's what we're left with. So we have to do everything within that budget, and that there's two problems that we're facing right now that are trends. One is our gas tax revenues are going down because as gas prices go up, people are driving less. As the economy is impacted, people are driving less. And, ironically, the more people that use RIPTA, the more people that use more efficient motor vehicles that have higher gas mileage, our gas receipts go down. So that's one issue. Our receipts are going down. They're trending down. Second, and that affects RIPTA as well as RIDOT. The second issue is as our debt service increases, what's left to maintain our roads and bridges is that much less. So we're on a downward trend unless we rethink our model. Now, this same impact is a similar impact we have on RIPTA, because the more that the more the gas prices go up, again, our revenues go down, so there's less revenue to RIPTA. The more people that we move out of the private automobile and into transit, the more people that RIPTA need to serve. That means their demand goes up at the same time the revenue goes down. So the model, the existing funding model that we have and this was laid out in the Blue Ribbon Panel report, for both transit and for maintaining our existing infrastructure, which is needed to run our transit operations, are both in some peril. So the timing is right. I think, have made working with the transit agencies, Highway and Bridge, working with the environmental community, working with the Coalition for Transportation Choice, I think there's a recognition that we need to be investing more in the next generation of transportation, but we cannot forget that we are so dependent, and will, for decades to come, be so dependent on our existing infrastructure, and we need to be investing in that. So with that, I'd be glad to stay around and answer questions that the committee has, and I look forward to hearing the other panelists.
Thank you very much, Director. So any of the committee members have questions or comments or anything like that at this point? The only one I had was just your reference about the example about I thought it was Pontiac, but I guess maybe it's Phoenix and Pontiac even come together.
Pontiac.
It is Pontiac, okay, because it's not in my district, but it's a bus that goes almost past my house that goes down south on the number 22 there that I'm familiar with on that side, but or maybe not the number 22, but that one that goes down that way. And I do wonder about other trucks that were diverted and other things, and that overall broader impact on the economy.
Sure.
So even folks that aren't I'm obviously very worked up and worried and concerned about RIPTA's solubility and success, but even folks that aren't thinking about that on a day-to-day basis, I mean, your point, I think, is much broader.
Let me just as an example of that, there are, I believe, we have about 160 bridges in the state. Currently, they are designated as structurally deficient. Most of them are open and operating. They might have weight limits on them. These are bridges that are in need of rehabilitation. It's we have a bad knee, it's got to be replaced, or the hip's got to go. We're using a cane, but we're getting around, but something's got to happen there. There are I think it's about 60 of those bridges that have a weight restriction on them. The most famous or the most infamous is probably the Pawtucket River Bridge on I-95, which thankfully we're now in an active construction project to rehabilitate and replace. The total detour mileage for those 60 posted bridges is over 800 miles. So think of the commercial vehicle traffic that has to be detoured on a daily basis, 800 miles in aggregate on all those bridges, and the economic impact of that, let alone the social impact, emergency vehicles, RIPTA, or others that have to be diverted because of a structurally deficient or posted bridge. So these are built-in economic impacts that need to be addressed.
Thank you, Director. Representative Earhart.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Director Lewis, the